Well, it is time to install the technical term is a single-family residential infiltration distribution system, however more commonly referred to as an I-pit or a French drain variation or a dry well. And the system is basically to take the rainwater from the roof, put it through a catch basin which separates any leaves or debris, and puts it underground where it can be distributed underground and not cause any kind of erosion or silt buildup or runoff into other property. Say that it is required in Mason County, Pierce County, which is where I'm at now, and Kitsap County, all three counties I've built in. I will say that almost every system I've installed is similar. However, it's important you pay attention to the details. So let's go over a few things in here real quick. For your single family residential infiltration distribution system application worksheet. This happens to be specific to Pierce County. They vary, but this provides some very useful information. We get to this is a table and formula for how to determine the square footage or the length and the depth of your infiltration trench. This is the critical stuff. This is what you'll need to install your system to. This represents the catch basin that I will install, and there's some very specific instructions on here on how the piping has to be installed, the inlet, the outlet, how the screens have to be installed. In this case, I'm going to have a screen socket slides inside of here. This really covers separation chamber or catch basin that will be installed. The next sheet covers the infiltration pit itself. These two lengths, which give you the length of the trench and the width of the trench, the distances away from the house, the catch basin position away from the house, and then to the trench. So the catch basin, the gutter piping that you saw from the house, and the trench itself. My trench is 69.75 feet long by 4 feet wide. That's done by a calculation that the county gives, and then they give you the dimensions in writing so you can go ahead and install this system. And we also get into a sheet that shows important information. The backfill amount, 6 inches in my case, the size of the gravel area, the size of the piping, the depth the piping has to be inside the gravel. It specifies that it has to be wrapped in filter fabric, and then it gives you the dimension that you have to be from either the groundwater layer or impermeable surface, which would be hard pan. So why do I bring all that up and the importance of having your install sheet? And this varies from county to county and state to state, because you need to install this per the written instruction. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this out. Mine is 69.75, so 70 feet. We're going to get laid out on the ground with some spray paint, and then we're going to get to work on digging it out. All right, well, after some trial and error, we got it measured out. I decided it was just easier to do a straight 70 feet because we had the room. Originally, I was planning on kicking in front of the house. As long as you're meeting the square footage requirements and the width and depth requirements, the county is going to accept it, at least in the counties I've built in.
So we're to the point where we need to install the filter fabric inside of the trench. And I'm going to do it a couple rows at a time and then put some gravel on and work my way back so I don't have to drive over it a bunch of times and potentially mess it up. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this to length. But in order to get them all cut to length first, I've got a couple boards laid out behind me, and we're going to go ahead and pull it out and cut it and get it all cut so that we're kind of speeding things along. So it's full. That's about 18 inches of rock, 16, 18 inches of rock, maybe a little bit more. But it's completely full end to end, and we are going to wrap it up with the filter fabric and overlap the corners and then throw a few rocks on top to hold the fabric in place, and then we'll be ready for inspection. So we're gonna go ahead and flop this stuff over and get it rocked in place. All right, well, we have finally covered up the eye pit. It's almost like you can't even tell that it's there. That's kind of the idea, at least. So we've got the 70-foot long trench. It's about 5 feet wide. We've got 18 inches of gravel, and then we've got the 6 inches of fill over the top. And that will catch all of the rainwater off of her house and direct it into the ground, and it will dissipate on the ground so it doesn't run off the property. In any case, I hope that helps you guys out in the long run of figuring out what you're doing on your builds. Well, this install went pretty smooth. I appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and check out some of these other links. I'll have the house series of builds, the tractor series, and my garage series. Until the next time, thanks for watching.